Wonderful. Okay, let's just wait a couple more minutes. Busaka, are you going to be participating in this?
Wait, one. So I don't know what I'm going to be able to add to the conversation, but I am interested in learning basically anything that I can do that would make your lives easier
Well,
in this process.
what I was thinking of doing for this is going one just going over basic what do you call it again? Torch plugins, and then maybe also I was thinking about going over I decided that I do not have the expertise to go over scripted mods just because I don't have any experience making it.
Mm-hmm.
But I was thinking it might just be a good idea to go over basic weapon setup in WC.
Yeah, I think those are all valid points. I was thinking of as my first project, taking a look at the RTS mod and seeing if I can add in the Angular components to that.
Um, well, I mean, okay, I can definitely cover that in this if you want me to, but it's just never mind. What am I saying? Yeah, we can definitely do that. Just have to figure out on the fly, I guess.
Yeah, no, Rain, no worries. I mean, we can focus on whatever you want to focus on for this session, and then yeah, kind of go from there.
Okay.
I've really got no preference other than I want to learn some C# and
All right. Torch plugin development it is. Okay, easy stuff.
say what?
Torch plugin development it is easy stuff, and I'm sorry, my mouth is kind of getting a little numb. 1 second.
My questions are more online with keeping things separate for the programming side of things.
What do you mean?
So that I don't add work for you. Like when you get a model, you should just be able to plug it in. I have no concept of the other side of this world.
Okay.
I just know how to. I can make the models. I can make them fairly quickly.
Well, in that case, then, you know what? I'll just since Busaka's here, I'm just gonna go ahead and go over the WC plugin stuff first. Then, is that okay if you missed?
Yeah, that's great with me too, because I kind of wanted to learn a little bit more about that because you know, I think what I would really like to do is create kind of like a Shattered Plains weapon pack. One that's a little bit more immersive and actually, you know, has like a backstory for each of the weapons and technologies, and kind of like an origin in our universe. I think it would be really cool to be able to do that. And so,
yeah.
Not to mention, trying to balance these weapons has been a pain in the butt. So I'm hoping if Exfonius is involved in the upfront kind of making of the models, we might be able to come up with a better framework than just plug and play MWI and, you know, all the other weapons that we're using.
I have ideas about that too, but like generally it's very basic as far as balance is concerned.
Yeah, I know Rain shared with me that DCAM in general had a lot of thoughts on that. So
no, I don't follow. I don't fall too far in line. I am brand new. I'm only like a week old into this. So,
gotcha.
They certain individuals in DR, they don't want any kind of real restriction at all, but they are aware that there are limitations and or problems, but you know, they don't want to have to redesign the world, and that's fine. But the fact of the matter is, there has to be something.
Yeah.
And the one thing
that to redesign the world.
So, like in like Mech Warrior, you know, the restriction is heat. You know, you can have all the weapons in the world, but at some point you're going to overheat.
Yeah.
That's limitations in the world.
It's such a shame that
question.
Sorry.
No, my question is, The one thing that I've been noticing that's just kind of overlooked, and I don't know if it can be worked in, is weight. Weight seems to be a thing that actually exists in this universe. So, like, yeah, you
Making
can
the
put.
weapons super heavy.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, you can put 100 freaking guns on a ship, sure, and that's the problem that I guess we're running into. But so then, if they're really heavy, it doesn't matter how many reactors or how many thrusters you go on there. There are physical limitations
Okay.
to how fast your ship can go. So if you want to be a big, heavy son of a bitch, great. Guess what? You move at nothing.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
so that's actually one of the key balancing mechanics I think that we're trying to go for with the RTS mod and scaling speed with weight. What I know WeaponCore actually has a, well, I don't actually know this for sure. Rand, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Darkstar had mentioned WeaponCore was going to have hard point limitations based on ship class. Is that
Right.
correct?
I believe that he was planning to implement that. Yeah.
So if we implement something like that, now unfortunately his ship classification is based on block count and not weight. But if
Right.
we centralize the server balancing mechanic across, the RTS mod with speed and also the number of weapons you can have on your ship scaling based on weight as well, then we really can have, battleships and dreadnoughts.
Block count is fine. It's just, I mean, so our limitations are 0 to 10,000. I don't know if that's arbitrary. Again, brand new, but that seems like a good number.
Okay. Hey guys, I appreciate the discussion on balancing, but I'm sure that a lot of this has been said. So let's go ahead and get started.
Yep.
Sorry.
It's easy to go down this line.
Well, yeah, I wasn't sure if you want to get started yet or not, right? So we're waiting to see if other people wanted to join.
Oh yeah, that too. I was kind of doing that. Yeah.
All right, take us away, Master Rain.
All right, so let's go ahead and start out in Blender.
Oh god.
Me like you.
I've never seen Blender. I've never used Blender. I have no idea what Blender is. Period.
Well, this is Blender. All right, so.
Did you want to share your screen?
Am I not sharing my screen? Oh, I am not sharing my screen. Okay.
Watching.
All right, so
is Blender free?
Yes.
Yes.
I'll download it now.
Then there's very specific instructions for installing this mod. I'm just gonna use this to generate a quick model really quick, just so you guys can see an example model. So I'm gonna delete this because no one cares about the initial step. And essentially, let me save this actually somewhere too, because it has to be saved somewhere, otherwise the plugin doesn't work. So, example weapon, great. And then let's just call this example. And great, so everything is saved. Now what we're going to do is we are going to look at our current scene collection. Can you guys kind of see this, or is this too small?
Yes,
so
it's fine.
You'll notice that there's a main scene, a collision scene, BS1, BS2, BS3, LOD1, LOD2, LOD3. Essentially, the main idea of this plugin, the plugin's called SCEUT, just FYI. The main idea is to have the main model inside main, and then have a collision mesh inside collision, and you have build states, and you have LODs, and you have a build state LOD. So
is that damage? LOD?
No, it's a level of detail. So if you go further away from something, it gets less detailed, which helps with reducing triangle count in large things.
Gotcha.
I won't go over how to compile turrets, but I will go over just basic how to set this up to do something. So
quick question: is that plugin for the Space Engineer's utility required in order to do model development, or can you take a pre-existing model and then just throw it into that plugin?
You can take a pre-existing model and throw it into the plugin. The thing is that when you actually are compiling it, you need to use this. You can export to MWM and add mount points and all that good stuff.
Okay. See, I can do this. This is what, like I said, if there's something I can do to take work off your table, off your plate, then I can do this.
And what's the where do we get that utility? Did you have the instructions for that download and plugin?
Yes, it actually has really good instructions for downloading and setting it up. I'll just put, this is just a collection of YouTube tutorials. Grab the, there you go. And just go to the setup guide, and it's very thorough. And then this runs on the most recent version of Blender, so you don't have to worry about getting a legacy version or anything.
Sweet. Okay.
All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at this little utility window. So notice here there's several things. There's a scene. This is just a file name, as it says. Or whenever you export the main model, this is what it's going to export the file named as. So I can call this.
So, flat cannon.
Sure.
Okay.
Does this have implications for the subtype ID that's used in the game as well, or is it just
no, it does
happenstance?
not. It's just the name
Okay.
for the texture or the model itself.
Gotcha.
So let's go ahead and move down. So we got bounding rocks. This just shows us in coordinates how big it's going to be. We can change. Let's see. I think you can change between large and small right over here, but it should not matter. As if you're modeling in small grid, you just keep the bounding rocks the same, and only model like this, and you just have to model as small, and it'll automatically rescale it for you.
Okay.
That's really nice.
So is that bounding box is the bounding box of a single cube, like a block?
Yeah, so it's a 1 by 1 by 1, and I can just go like that. And if I really
Okay,
want
so
to,
it's scaling with. Okay, that's perfect. Although, can you do like a half, or is it integer based, or can you do like a half?
you cannot do a half
Okay.
because
even the half block is a fake block.
yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, makes sense.
So let's just go ahead and make a quick 3x3 model, because that's usually a good size. And let's just go ahead and add in a cylinder for a base. So let's go ahead and just say, okay, we got a cylinder. Actually, let's make this like that. And then we can just add cylinder. You can rotate it on the x-axis by 90 degrees.
Yep.
What did I just do?
Is that interface? That's a Blender interface, right? I'm assuming.
I don't know why it adjusted it, but it should not have done that. Anyways, so we got
It
that
is, but it's
here.
running it through this program.
Just
Gotcha.
gonna scale it up quick, and oh look, we've got a thing, and now I can just go over here. Let's do a quick cute little thing right here.
Druid. There you go. Fancy barrel.
It's just like a simple CAD program.
Yeah.
Yeah, without any of the precision.
Exactly.
Oh, there's no precision in it.
Well, there's
You
some
can, but
precision, it's,
You can. Like, you can physically set this for whatever size you want, but like, if you notice, there's no dimensions. You're not telling it 3 millimeters.
Yeah. So I can't go into there's not like a face view or something where I can specify
Yes.
dimensions. Oh,
Yes,
here
you
it is.
can. The keypad is your facings. Like 3 is side, 7 is top. Your orthos.
Okay.
well,
Gotcha.
oh wait, is that it? Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
So I was like, wait, I thought the numpad was for these for a second.
Okay.
Okay. So I just put the cursor here. I'm going to add in a barrel empty. So I'm just going to, first off, this needs to be in main for this to be the main model.
Okay.
I'll just call this model because I'm lazy. And then we can add in a dummy here. So we add in, where is it? Oh, we have the Galvan mode, that's why. We have to
Say a
add,
dummy?
create empty, add dummy, and let's call this a little projectile. 1. And let's just skip that forward so it won't collide with our model.
Wait, what is this?
So that's basically your trigger or your entity.
Yes, so this is
for the
point
game?
where projectiles will spawn.
Okay, I see. Interesting.
And then, yeah, so you got that
This is
there.
a really nice plugin then.
Let's add in
Yes.
let's just add in a cute little Shift S cursor to the selected tab. Let's add a mesh, a cube. Let's scale this down really quick. And let's just make a really quick conveyor for it, just because let's be lazy. And let's bevel the sides maybe.
You don't have to get super detailed.
No, I'm just adding a couple things so it looks kind of nice.
Rain has really enjoyed the Blender modeling.
No, I got into it a while ago, and I'm a big fan.
All right, you guys have convinced me. I'll start with this. I'll do this and then do the coding at the same time.
There's a guy on YouTube called Blender Guru. I suggest just go through each of the. Just do all of his trainings. They're real simple. You'll make a donut and you'll be happy with it.
Makes sense.
By the end, you'll know how to do everything.
I did learn some CAD and Pro E way back when, so hopefully that'll help.
Right, so let's go ahead and add some shading really quick and some textures. So typically, before the project starts, you're going to want to go to shading, go here, press N, go to SUT, and check items, materials, and presets.
And so again, this is all from them, the foliage, etc.
Yes, so these are all the keen. This will give you all the keen stuff.
Okay.
Essentially, you are going to be getting all of it when you run the setup that I just sent you.
Yep. 6 gigs. Gotcha.
Yep. So, anyways, yeah, I'll just slap a couple cute little textures on here. Let's call this what do we have here? Conveyor yellow. I should probably turn on textures. You can actually see what I'm doing. Yeah, it looks very yellow. Let's add in some colorable metal here.
Rusty metal.
Let's give this a smart UV project so it doesn't throw us any errors. If you have a bad UV mesh, the texture won't show up properly in game. I usually just run this a couple times because I'm lazy. Anyways, okay, so that's majority of it set up. One big thing to note is that you must have all these things parented by a single object. So what I usually do is I just select all this and I control click here and parent, add object, so everything's under model, and that's just required.
Makes sense.
Another thing you have to do is if you want a conveyor port, you have to select this, you have to go to add, create empty, add highlight empty, and let's call this conveyor. And I don't know why it's all the way over here, but it's a conveyor. Not sure why it's all the way over there. Yeah, all the way over there. Anyway, so yeah, you just put this on this and.
So, okay. So, so the conveyor needs to snap to that object.
Yes. So,
correct.
This is kind of.
So
like
you don't want a gap. You don't want a gap between. So how do you avoid that?
Well, yeah.
Or will it just snap to the model?
Yeah, it will snap to the model. So essentially, this is a detection area for where you put your cursor, and then it'll highlight this. You just have to make sure.
I just didn't want like a gap or something because I put that wrong or something. Okay, gotcha. Rotation, turret, rotation.
What about it?
Up, down. How do you set that?
Let's work on fixed models first, and then we can work on it later.
Roger.
It's a little bit more complicated.
I gotcha.
I could probably do it really quick, but I just rather do this all the way through for the first one.
No, yeah, you're good. Keep going.
So technically, you don't have to add any of these. If you don't add any of these, I'll just say, okay, you got no build states, you got no LODs, and you got collision models, just a generic bounding box. So we can essentially export this as it is. So what I typically do is, let me just go over here and grab the mods location really quick. And let's go over here. You can go to the export tab, and we just need to define where to export it. So we can define this. I'm just going to paste this here so I can not do all the searching. And I'm going to create a new folder. Let's call this example, I don't know, Canon. Or what do we call it up here? We call it.
It's fine.
Or
You're good.
Okay, example can. Accept. and that will not work because I am an idiot, and it has to have a models path inside it in your overall path. If it does not have that, it'll say, oh, you can't do it. And you're gonna have any other folder in here. You got like test, for example, and I'll just put it inside this folder. And because it has a models directory inside the path, it'll say, okay, it's good. And then you just hit export all scenes. One scene successfully exported. Let's go ahead and take a look where we exported. So we go over here, got our example cannon. Let's open this up with code so we can take a look at what's going on. Okay, so we got some stuff in models. So what do we have? We got a MWM. This is the model file. It has all the textures pre-compiled into it. And then you have a flat can.sbc. So this is a cube block definition. So you need this whenever you have, whenever you're defining a block in game, you have to have a cube block definition. So what this allows you to do is this allows you to define the subtype ID, the type, it is display name, description, icon, cube size, a ton of stuff goes in here. So this typically does not go inside models. This needs to go inside data, and I will do that accordingly.
Where did you get this definition from?
This was auto-generated by
The plugin. Okay, perfect.
Now,
so,
where it says icon, astronaut backpack, I know you could change that to whatever, but do you want that as well?
you can generate that too.
I know I can. I'm just saying, do you want it as a JPEG, PNG?
It has to be DDS.
I don't know what that is.
It's an image format. It's used for a lot of textures and stuff.
Okay, I just know it's not in Photoshop, so.
It actually there should be a Photoshop plugin. It should be in
Okay.
Photoshop.
Then I'll get that then. DDS. I'm writing that down.
Yeah.
Because again, if I can do work that you don't have to do and then provide you with the things, then that's great. That makes it a more complete package.
Thank you. Right, so here we go. So let's just go and call this example.
This I can't do.
This part's easy.
I can't do this. This is foreign to me. So, but as far as the files that I need to provide.
Yeah, so I mean, so this like block definition or all SPC files, like sandbox files, are just XML, and it's just those tags. Like you see the blue kind of highlighted stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You're just filling in the inputs for those tags, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as you follow the same format and then make changes that you want to do, it's pretty simple.
Mm.
Oh.
Now, it's simple, but it's also annoying as hell because if you make a typo, then everything goes wrong.
Oh yeah.
I hate XML, but it's doable.
Okay, so what I typically do is I just copy this from an old one. This is using the large torrent-based definition, which is something we don't want. So let me go load up what I used for the jump drive disruptor really quick. And we can just literally, I'm just going to go ahead and copy in the cube block definition right under it. Let me just grab this definition. Typically in WC, if you have a, why is this under it? Oh right, it's not a valid definition. Okay. Typically if you have this here, you typically if you have a fixed thing, you're going to want to call it a conveyor sorter block. Now for a turret, you're going to want to call it a missile turret or a Gatling turret.
Okay.
So in this case, this is fixed. So I'm just going to call this definition. I'm going to copy this over because we want it. And
The difference between a missile turret and a Gatling turret in terms of the block definition.
yes. So Gatlings, the big difference is they have a spinning barrel thing.
So by default, the Gatlings have a spinning barrel animation.
Yes. So if you don't have something which has a spinning thing in the front, you're going to want to do a missile
Missile
turret
turret.
definition. Otherwise, just use a cat.
Gotcha.
Where was I? Right, so we got components. Okay, we got our components. We got our block variants. We don't care about that right now. This allows you to say, this allows you to nest in like multiple definitions. If you have like one, you can scroll between them. And
Then you
then we
got
just need to add this here.
your build costs as well.
Oh yeah, so the build cost is just right here.
Oh, okay. I just saw the one down here at the bottom where it said like 300 construction materials, 80 large tubes.
Yeah, let's copy this over actually. This is a good construction count.
Yeah, this is where the balancing part comes back in, right? You can control how much
Right,
stuff
expensive a thing is.
Yeah, and also that's what controls the weight
Oh, okay.
and durability.
And then essentially the way this works is it goes from top to bottom. So this will be the first thing, second thing, third thing, fourth thing, fifth thing. And then
All the way
you need to define a critical component here. Essentially the critical component, you give it a subtype. So notice how there's two constructions here. So if I have index 0, it'll look at when all of these are implemented, and then I'll say that it's completely built. But if it's this index is 1, it'll look at this construction component definition, and it'll say when that is completely built, it is fully functional.
I'm gonna leave this stuff to you guys.
It's not too bad.
It isn't, but I know where my specialties live, and this isn't it.
So yeah. Yeah, honestly, you could probably leave this stuff to us. Let me go ahead and go over, geez. Mist, do you want me to go over WC implementation really quick?
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind, that'd be good.
Oh, right. In that case,
Get the full stack in here.
Full stack it is. Right, how do we do this again? We need to grab a, let's see. So first off, we need to, because this is a weapon, we need to give it a weapon definition. And let's give it a subtype called, that's a very bad thing here. Let me just go rename this file so it's more descriptive. Underscore cube blocks. So I know that all the cube blocks are in this file. I can create a new file to call this, so now what we need to do is we need to define these things as an actual weapon in game. So I'm going to copy this over from this definition really quick.
This part's consistent with vanilla keying weapons, right? I think I've seen this
Yes, it
before.
is.
Yeah, okay.
Now let's get this to XML. Ah, it's being weird. There we go. There we go. That doesn't want to be nice to me today. Okay. So anyway, so we add this here. Let's go ahead and define a subtype ID. What we defined as subtype ID over here. Subtype ID has to be the same because we're referencing a subtype.
Okay.
Paste that over here. And then we can just keep this. This will be overridden, overridden, overridden. Big thing next is the ammo magazines. We're going to have to go over here and say, okay, so what kind of ammo magazine we're going to want. Let's go ahead and not do this right now. Let's add in the ammo magazine definitions first. So I'm just going to go ahead and make a underscore ammos.spc and
So, pause. Sorry. So, if we need to, sorry. So we make a flat cannon, and we don't want it to necessarily just eat another type of ammunition. We want to create a new flat cannon ammunition.
yes, that's what we're doing.
Oh, okay. Sorry, as you were. I apologize.
It's fine.
Yeah, part of that reason is like I think damage out. Well, vanilla game damage is based on the ammunition.
Yes. So typically here you'd have where is it? I think it'd be somewhere.
Yes, mass
here.
damage, the projectile,
Oh yeah, there we go.
and then I think you could add explosive damage if this was a missile.
Probably.
I don't
So
know. What is headshot? Headshot tree. I didn't see that.
Extra damage for headshot, I guess.
I
That's
guess
what I
that would be
think
good
it
for
is.
like a rifle or something.
Let's go and take a look at this actually really quick. So you notice here it's using the myObjectBuilder_projectile ammo definition. That is a weapon definition that we can actually look up in the code. So let's take a look at the code. If it's in here somewhere. It's right down here. Okay. So what do we got over here? We got, well,
It's not very helpful.
not very helpful. It's probably because we're not looking in the right place. So if we notice here, we're going to look inside projectile properties. So we need to find our projectile properties, which is right here. So we need to look in here. And then, what are these? Okay. Oh, this is projectile properties. It's inside here. Okay. I see. Okay, so it's going to, yeah, so you got projectile health damage. Headshot
There it
is
is.
a boolean. Headshot damage you can set apparently. Projectile count.
Well, what
that's-
sets the headshot pool?
I'm guessing that's for like a individual weapon,
Here we are.
like a rifle.
Yeah. I guess, or we could
Probably.
probably have it like an interior turn or something too. Looks
I
like.
kind of wonder now, like, if you had manual control of a turret, can you kill a player faster if you get a headshot? If headshot is on,
It looks
like, does the
that's-
turret even aim? I don't actually
Yeah.
know how turret AI works. Is it aiming for the center of the body or the head?
The center.
Now, I know I'm probably jumping, but effects, weapon effects,
What about
graphical
sets and
weapons
weapon
effect.
core?
Yeah, that's the nice part, Pasaka, is all of that's controlled by WeaponCore, so we don't have to do like custom modding for that anymore.
Before you would have to do a complete script for that and write up a ton of stuff.
Okay, because I didn't know if I had to provide graphics as well for
You
certain
do
things.
not.
Well, you do have to provide ammo, right? Like if you want to do like a specific ammo.
Yeah, no,
If you have like a
that's
missile,
fine.
you have to have a
That's
model for that.
that's an icon.
No, I mean like the actual projectile ammo. Like if you built a missile launcher and want the missile to fly.
Oh yeah. I got you.
Okay, so where were we? Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and create an ammo definition called what do you want to call it? Let's call it
Oh, another quick question related to that. Like all these definitions, do you just have a handy library somewhere that you copy and paste it from?
I'm literally copying and pasting these from JDD_ammo magazines, and you can probably copy and paste it from this example cannon.
That's what I'm wondering if we want to in our repo, Rain. Maybe we can create like a example template. Yeah,
That'd be good, actually.
that way we can just load the template and be like, here you go.
That's a to-do. Okay, so what did we call this one? Fuck ammo. Let's call this one fuck ammo mag, and then let's just call this black ammo mag, and don't need anything there. And this goes up here, and we say, okay, so we got some models here that we're gonna need for this. Let's say there's no model for now. Well, we're probably gonna need a model, but it'll throw an error if we don't have a model. So what are we gonna do?
Wait, this is the ammo magazine model?
Yeah, so here, let me just create a really quick model for that.
So like if you made the ammo box and then you dropped it, what would drop, physically drop?
Exactly. Yeah.
So you'd have to make a ammo can, basically.
Yeah. So
Clang Cola.
All right, that's easy enough to add in the model.
let's just do that really quick. Delete hierarchy. Let's save this under here. Don't want it here. Let's call this mag model dot blend. Save. Let's click here, add mesh cube, check. And this is going to be in the scale of large stuff. So let's just make this bounding box on, A, tab A, scale down a little bit, and okay, we got our magazine right there. Everything's happy. And let's give this a really quick texture. Some items, presets, materials, Control S, layout. Then we're going to here, change this, and then just do military metal because that's always a good one. And great. And just confirm. And that looks pretty.
Nice.
Okay. And let's just go over here. Let's go ahead and go here. Let's go to the exports. Let's folder.
If you don't do a texture for these, is there like a default like untextured block?
I hope you like pink.
Okay, that's what happens. Okay. Makes sense.
And let's just put this in yes.
So here's another graphics question. So the textures that these things get modeled can we only paint with the textures that they give us?
No, you can create new ones, but I just never really bothered to do it because it's kind of a pain.
No, that's my wheelhouse. So it's just a matter of flattening that cube, and then I can do one. That's not a problem.
The only issue with custom textures, though, is that's going to bulk up your mod.
Absolutely.
It wouldn't bulk it up too much, though. I mean,
I guess from this scale,
like 50 of them
like,
or something.
For things like metals and stuff like that, I wouldn't. I would just keep what they have because there's no reason to reinvent the wheel. But like, say I was doing a Reaver model and there's a skeleton, so then I need a bone color, something that they may not have.
Yeah.
So like, I'm adding weight to the mod, but it'll be like
it's pretty minor compared to like a planetary texture.
Correct. It'd be like a 32 by 32 pixel block of bone texture. It wouldn't be much.
Actually, that would be really cool if there's like a bone cannon.
All right, looks like everything is all set up. Let's boot up SD really quick and take a look at what this thing looks like in game.
So, Rain, while you're doing that, one of the things that I'm really interested in, I think, with the weapon pack for the server, is if we can have multiple weapons using the same ammo type, but different themes.
Right. So that I was going to get into that when this whole thing was over, because that was my question earlier. Was so we have an XB1 laser, right? And it looks like a human XB1 laser. Yeah. But like, if I make a Reaver XB1 laser, you can tweak the like fire rate and damage and stuff, but it still just eats energy. Like, it's still the same gun. You don't really have to change much. Per se, and then there's a Reaver version of it if this is even continuing in the long run. But
that's kind of what I was thinking is like, or even like faction specific weapons, right?
Correct.
Like, that would be really cool.
I wouldn't go crazy, but like absolutely that. And when like say when DKM seizes a gun, right? Well, it looks like everybody else's guns, but like if I make that model that I put up a while ago, concept of like a laser cannon a fog laser gun, it's very identifiable as, hey, that's not normal.
Yeah. The only issue I think is we're going to have G menu bulk up, and also just the number of block definitions will go up a lot.
But I agree with you.
I'm sorry. What were you guys just talking about? I just had to step away for a second.
So we'll just use the XB1 laser as an option. As the example. So like you have the human XB1, right? It looks like what it looks like, but then you just basically have a fog XB1. It doesn't look at all like, but it still just does all the things.
Yeah, basically the same weapon in terms of balancing and ammo usage. Maybe some tweaks to the damage output.
That's what that's a balance issue.
Oh yeah, you can totally do that. That's not.
But thematic weapons, right? Even for factions.
Like the MWI, you have the square base and this circle base MK2.
Well, we don't. I can work around it. It doesn't have to be a circle or a square base, right?
No, but that's an example of two different things sharing two different models.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sharing the same definition but having different models.
But my issue with that is you get like a lot of G menu bulk up. Was my question. Like, is there? I don't know if we need to come up with like an organizational scheme then.
Yes, but also keep in mind that you can collapse them. So like the way
Yeah.
they do it is they collapse into one big thing. So it's not that much of an issue. As much of an issue.
This is interesting. I would love that. That'd be so awesome. Think of like that as like a major reward for becoming a major faction in Shattered Plains. If you have a
So,
certain
like-
number of members and certain activity, and you win a couple battles, you can get.
And if your team physically wants to pay to have the modeler make those things, yeah.
Yeah, or get a modeler to do, that work. Like if you have a modeler on your team, I guess what I meant.
Sure.
So we got this here. This looks all good. Got the same thing, and then conveyor port looks good.
I can't believe that conveyor port, like that bounding box, just works like that. How does it know not to take the cylinder part of it?
Well, because the bounding, yeah.
Was the bounding box smaller than the cylinder? I thought it was about the same size.
Honestly, I'm not really sure how the bounding box works.
Because that doesn't look like it's attached to anything.
Yeah, it's just. Oh, okay. So anything inside of the, as soon as you look inside of the bounding box, that thing highlights. So I guess the cylinder must have been outside of the bounding box.
Yeah. Well.
Okay.
In the bounding box. Honestly, you can make the bounding box pretty liberal. You don't have to worry too much about it. Just make it so it's easy to select. Honestly.
Yeah. No, I think that's what I've seen that with different models. That is a complaint I've had. Is sometimes the conveyor port is small, like super small, like the bounding box. Like even though the conveyor port is large, only the very inner part of it highlights it. So.
Yeah. Just make it big. People.
Is there a standard size for the conveyor?
Yeah, there is. You can usually I just pull it off the teen models. If you go into
Where do you get those?
So if you download the mod SDK, you can actually import them using this tool here. You can go to
mod SDK.
Come on.
Where will I find
Why
that?
are you right in the way? So if you go to CNET Common, mod SDK, original contents, models, cubes, large, let's go and grab an O2. Oxygen generator. Changed it.
Okay.
Give it a second to actually do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So where should I download this? Is it just this?
From Steam. It's a big model.
This is great too because you can basically mod. You can use a reference mod.
Oh yeah, I use so many reference models. I sometimes just steal stuff off of these things.
Yeah. Well, yeah, again, no reason to reinvent the wheel.
True. So yeah, what I did the last time is I just literally copied that and slapped it on there. But this is pretty close. How close is it? Let's go ahead and compare it really quick.
It's pretty damn close.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, considering you eyeballed that, that's pretty damn good.
Yeah, I agree. See, now there's the gap that I was talking about.
Do you know why the gap's there?
No.
Hazard a guess? It's because it's not completely fit into a bloody bounding box.
Right, so then you need to move the bounding box.
No, not the. Yeah.
Just move this a little bit back.
Not the conveyor bounding box, the block bounding box.
Well, you just have to move the block so it's inside the bounding box, like you want it to be inside the bounding box.
Okay.
So that's usually the way you do it.
Fantastic. All right. I just don't. Yeah, that's. Thank you.
Good thing to know.
Interesting.
That was my concern.
And then also, you don't have to take this out before you export because only stuff inside these scenes actually gets exported. So, yeah.
You could have like just a giant mess of stuff.
Oh, you can basically have the matrix like loading screen.
Well, up to where your computer crashes trying to render it all.
So yeah. Anyway, so we also should have, what did I call it again? F block ammo mag. And there's just no icon here, so I didn't make one. Let's see what this looks like. Ooh, it's big.
It's a cube.
Yeah, that's the cube. Good cube. Good cube.
Now I really want to just completely mod everything.
Yeah, well, so right now, So my sorry, where was I? Where's the folder we were just in? Modders, I guess, right?
What?
Folder?
Yeah, the modders folder that
What?
we were just in.
Oh, you mean this one?
Oh, you mean the channel?
Yeah, the channel.
Oh,
Here, let me put something in there real quick. So like, this was the fog Gatling gun that I was working on.
yeah.
I like it.
You know, it's not supposed to make sense per se, because fog, whatever. But like, this is just a replacement for the existing Gatling gun. You know, change the color of the bullets, but I don't know.
Oh,
That
Makes
was the
sense to
idea.
me. I
That
kind of
was
like
the
this
idea.
because it could be like, instead of a Gatling gun, it's like shooting nanites at you.
Sure.
okay.
That's the other part of this too. Is I want to start coming up with the lore and backstory for each of the weapons and customizations.
All right. So we've gone over basic setup. Let's go ahead and go over WC setup really quick. Okay, you guys ready?
Mhm.
Okay, let's play a game called Copy and Paste All the Files. So just go ahead.
We definitely we're gonna need a template folder.
That's a good point. Anyway, so you just go on Control C to scripts, and let's go back over here. Let's go to example data. Oh my gosh, look at this. Okay, there we go. And we got that in there. And now let's just close most of these except for the key block definition. And let's go in here. So we can see that we have advanced animation. We're not going to animate this. Let's ignore that. We have just to delete the smalls because you don't want multiple definitions here. And we just need free files. We need a master config file, which is just the master config. And that has to be named master config because that's what the thing looks for.
Okay.
And then we have this is the definition for the actual weapon block here, and then you have the definition for the ammo. So,
okay. Makes sense.
3 things. I'm going to run a quick search for this because this should be called weapon thread. Place all. There we go, much better. Okay. Just because the namespace was called something weird. Usually it's called weapon thread. Just good to standardize it for now.
Okay, because you created your custom namespace, you had to change that variable. Makes sense.
So anyways, let's go ahead and start with this. So we have the master config. Let's not touch that for a couple seconds. So let's start in the main weapon definition. So we got weapon definition. Let's call it call this black. Even though it's definitely not a flat cannon. And then we need to put in the subtype ID of the Q block. So just grab this from here. We have this. And we need to grab the name from Blender. So this here is called Missile Projector 1. Copy this and bring this over. And put it the right, yeah. Oh, there we go.
So my question then is, so if I'm naming this in Blender as muzzle projectile 1, it can't interfere with anything else named muzzle projectile 1?
It
like
cannot.
I don't.
No, do not name anything else muzzle projectile 1.
Right. So how do I not step on my toes on that? Like, do we have a list of all the other projectile names so that I don't accidentally name it disruptor laser?
I mean, honestly, just the name for the barrel has to be unique. So honestly, you can call this whatever you want, as long as it's the same there.
Roger that.
So
I'll just put a boo prefix in front of everything, and that way nobody messes up.
Yeah, and doesn't.
Gotcha.
It's okay if it collides with other models too, because this is only looking at this particular model, so it should not matter too much.
Roger that. All right. I didn't know if it would shoot missiles because it's named muzzle projectile 1, because the missile launcher uses muzzle projectile 1.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
All Alright, so here we're making a fixed thing, so we don't really care about much of the targeting and hardpoint. We got aiming tolerance, deviate shot angle. Keep this no deviation. These are UI things, you can adjust these. But we don't want any of them. Who cares about AI? Okay, hardware, don't care, it's not rotating. Any of this? Not really. This is usually good here, and
So if I
for the grid.
So rotate barrel on axis. So that would be a 1 if it was a
I'm
rotating.
not sure how to set this up, but it's in the documentation.
Okay.
Anyway, so here's the big things. You got loading. This is shots per minute. So
Oh, actually,
let's make this every
that
second.
rotate barrel axis question has another question for me. Is there an orientation that you need to have for the blender model?
In this. Oh yeah, so the positive Y is just forward.
Positive Y is forward, and then Z is just up.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Anywho, nah. Let's turn off heat and let's just keep reload time to like
It says
5
system does
seconds.
not use heat.
And no delay
it is-
until fire, and I can probably keep all this pretty vanilla. So we have a rate of fire 60 per minute, reload at 300, and yeah. We don't have any sounds done yet, so let's ignore this.
So heat is an issue. It's just it's set to 0.
Yeah.
So this is for overheating a weapon, though, like a specific weapon.
Correct.
So yeah, you can definitely implement a heat mechanic, which is good. But it's not.
Although I mean, it's the same as like a reload mechanic, right? There's not much
Gotcha.
new.
Yeah, I got you.
But you could generate like Halo type guns where you just like, blast a couple shots and then you're like, I need to cool down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And graphics, I'm not gonna put any graphics on here. Okay, so we're basically done with this. Don't want any animations. I'll comment this out. Comments are just 2 forward slashes. So if you go in here.
Whoa! I got comments in C# or no, exclamations XML. Okay, never mind.
So basically, it's just the comments. You have inline comments as I just showed you, or you have block comments, which is this, and you end with this.
So there's no
block. What?
So there's no animations.
No animations.
Okay. So no recoiling barrels.
You can add it. It just works.
I don't feel like doing that right now. Let's just go ahead and what do you want to call it? Yeah, let's call this
There's no large block. Okay, yep, that makes sense.
And we can go over here and we just call this the same thing we called over here, so it knows to look and grab this one.
Yep.
Then let's just so ammo magazine, we need to grab that from the ammo magazines. This one here. We put that right here, and then we can call this this is just a name, so.
Is this just a name that you see in game?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's
in game.
right
Aha.
Energy cost, it's not gonna have any energy, so let's just keep this at 0.
What is the energy cost times default damage times shots per second times barrel shots
This
times
gets
shots
really
per
weird.
barrel?
I don't even know how to
Heck?
explain it. It's a very weird mechanism. But anyways, we're not worrying about energy right now, so we don't have to care about it.
But in the future, I will.
Well, in the future,
That's so complicated.
you should play around with it yourself and just adjust it, because I don't know exactly how to explain it.
Yeah.
Generally, it's like you're assigning the energy cost per base damage, essentially. So if you have like 1,000, you have energy cost of 1, you're going to be using 1,000, I think it's kilowatts or something. Yeah. Just play around with it and you'll eventually just see how it works.
Hello.
Yeah, makes sense. Hey,
And
it's
then-
funny.
Just got out of-
Of course, who cares about this? Hardpoint usable. You want this set to choose, you can actually use it as hardpoint and then respawn energy.
So there are plenty of things that you can use to balance. some of these weapons.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
even-
a weapon core
even-
is really powerful for that.
Like even the decay per shot. It's like, oh yeah, you got a super laser. Great, fantastic. You only fire it 5 times before it breaks.
Yep.
So
oh yeah, you
pick
can
your
actually
targets.
the K per shot.
Mhm.
Oh, decay. We should add those in for railguns. I'm not gonna lie. Replace the rails.
Yeah, I mean, let's do it. I mean, the more I look at this, and the more Rain explains all the different frameworks that we have available, and how relatively straightforward it looks, I want to replace all weapons in Shattered Plains. We are not using any other weapons other than Shattered Plains originals.
Come on.
The main work for custom weapons is the modeling, really.
Well, modeling
And we got Pasaka for
balancing
that.
are the main works.
Balancing.
Well,
And
balancing we're
modeling.
going to need to do for the other weapons anyways.
Yeah, you have to do it anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, so we got here. This is a pattern. We don't want a pattern. This essentially allows you to spawn in multiple definitions whenever this definition spawns in. So let's make this.
Wait,
called-
multiple definitions when that definition spawns in? What does
It
that
lets
mean?
you make like shrapnel like trees.
Aha, okay. Okay. Oh, I like that. Okay.
For mines.
Or mines.
Or mines, yeah.
Anyway, so we got damage scale.
Or for the flat gun. Yeah.
So this
Basically
allows you-
anything that uses multiple projectiles.
So my question with the sorry to interrupt again.
Go
So
ahead.
a flak cannon in the sense of actually being what it is.
Uh,
So like Battlestar Galactica, etc. This thing only shoots like 500 meters away, explodes, and produces shrapnel so that it can take down missiles and or other projectiles.
Theoretically,
it's not-
I've actually
Correct.
been having
It'd
some
be
issues
simple
with the
to
shrapnel
do.
definition. It hasn't been working for me for whatever reason. So
the shrapnel definition has been wonky for me too.
yeah.
Okay.
But let's go ahead and actually make it so it works like that. So I'm gonna make this into a sphere shape, and then let's
Wouldn't
put
it
the
be more
diameter to like 50? So
Like it.
We have that, and let's go ahead and go down here. Keep damage scales default here, and then let's make the area effect explosive with and then area effect radius of okay. What we have over here, we had 50, so let's make this 35, so it's kind of over it.
Mm-hmm.
Then
that
explosions.
is effectively a flat cannon, yeah.
EWAR field. We don't have any EWAR fields here, but I'll just look at this and see else doesn't do anything weird.
Special effects for when exploding.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
We want to
Gotcha.
detonate on end, so it like
So,
detonates on end.
for the... Actually, I had a question on the floating points. Is there a reason for why some values are floating points and others are not?
You need more precision for some.
Yeah. So typically, honestly, if you're not sure, just do F.
Mhm.
How do I explain this? For example, if we go over here, we go to script, weapon structure.
Is it just set up to take that as an input with the...
Yeah, basically.
And also some math functions in C# can only use floating points.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha.
So anyway, so we have this here, and we can look down in graphics, lines, tracers, offsets, trail, beam, shrapnel, ammo, blah 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 blah.
So this is just
So,
a
yeah, you
matter
can
of
see if
playing
it's
with this.
doubles.
Pretty much, yeah. It's okay.
Okay.
This is what WeaponCore, what Darkstar has done for us, right? Like, you can do
It's
all
a
of this
framework,
so
yeah.
much easier.
Yeah,
Yeah,
severed,
the
so
same
none
pair.
of us have to.
Whereas before, all the energy weapons or any custom weapons you saw, those were all custom scripted by the
No,
developer.
they used another framework. I think it was Meridian's energy weapons.
You mean Meridian? You mean Lucas's, right?
Yeah, Lucas's energy weapon framework.
There were a couple custom ones that didn't use that there.
There was the 2 centimeter ions, which was a unholy mess and crashed servers.
Yeah, Lucas's energy script was really good too. I could follow that pretty well.
Okay, so here we have
I-
trajectory. We
yeah.
can set guidance to none because we have no guidance. And sorry.
So for guidance, if you just turn that on, it just works. Like, what are the...
Yeah.
I
it
don't
does.
know. I've never tried.
it does work. It works very well.
All right. So then we can it will guide to the target, but we just basically add in how bad it is at that guidance?
Yeah, so you just have to
Like
define
target loss.
stuff here.
Okay.
And then we have
Oh, gravity multiplier. That's beautiful. We can do artillery now. Wait,
In space.
Rovers?
Space lasers.
missed again. So projectiles couldn't be influenced by gravity now. I just remembered what we're doing next iteration.
Let's do it. I'm all for it.
And then you have all the graphics definitions down here, which is super annoying. And it got the emos, which the audios, which nothing is happening here.
I have a question. Does turret targeting account for bullet drop, like gravity?
It should, yeah.
Okay.
Wait, Rain, quick, can you go back to those definitions that you had? Just not definitions, the sounds. Did you just have like the name of the file in there?
I will go
Or is that the
adding that
definition?
in a minute.
Okay.
You have to have a specific SBC to define them first, and it has to be a wave
Sure.
file.
Okay.
And you don't want this. Anywho, so yeah, I'll just keep this the same. This will look like you know what, but it'll work like this. And yeah, so any more questions on what we have right now?
Mm-mm.
What's a ship welder arc?
What?
It's just the name of the effect.
Oh.
Aha.
My settings aren't high enough to see that, so.
Wait, your settings aren't high enough to see that?
Yeah, I don't see the welder arc, so
So let's go ahead and press F5 and pray, shall we?
Sure.
now I kind of want to make all weapons decay, but like I feel like that'd be annoying. But at the same time,
20 triples that it will work.
I'm pretty sure if you made all weapons decaying, people would just add welders next to each weapon.
but they can't. I mean,
Unless the welders decay.
no, please.
Thruster decay.
That could be
Yeah, have maintenance on your aircraft. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
What a bold proposition.
Okay, I don't actually like thruster decay because that's a lot of thrusters.
But thrusters to 4.
Having to repair the barrels on your guns after firing 5,000 rounds through them? I mean, like, I don't know.
Huh, looks like something was
Yeah,
not
if you have a minigun though, that's like a couple seconds.
Looks
Or I
like
mean,
went wrong.
like,
What happened, Rain?
Looks like it didn't work properly.
did you remember to save? I've done that before.
Oh, do you know why it's not working?
Why?
It's because the master config wasn't set up. Which
Oh.
may or may not be
Oh,
good.
because you
How to
didn't set
take
the names.
definition, or-
Essentially, you take
Yeah.
the master configs, you take this here, and you just take this here, and you put it in here.
Also, best practice would be to use the same naming, I guess.
Yeah.
Like the definition and the file name.
Wait.
Usually not.
I haven't seen that done in a lot of
But
other mods, I'd say.
yeah, definitely you should have the same name here, but I'm being lazy.
Yeah, okay. I was just checking
Let me
to make
actually
sure
turn
that
this
there
really
wasn't
quick.
like
This is super bad.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can do that. I just haven't seen mod authors do it.
You haven't?
I haven't. I've gone through. Oh, that's the phone.
Do you have a landline?
Indeed.
I'm messing with you.
What century are you living in, Exphonius?
I have a landline.
The last one.
The last
best
one.
one.
The better one. Pre-COVID. While this is loading, Rain, I'm trying to find where I can download the mod SDK, and I found it on the just kind of
The Keen website.
yeah, and it won't
You're
let me
gonna want to
download.
go here, just go to library, go to library.
Yeah, drop into the beta, right? Or was it?
Or you just go into tools
Door.
over here, and then you'll notice.
Whoa. How do I
You
don't
can-
have this
Right there.
library.
Yeah,
This one.
it's in Steam.
I can probably see.
Space
I can
engineer.
probably
okay,
just
okay.
put this on there. Oh no, it's tutorial.
No, I see. It's because I already had it.
Oh.
Which is why
What do
I
you?
looked at the. Yeah. That's.
What do you use the mod SDK for outside of the MWM manager? Because I'm not very familiar with it.
It just uses reference stuff. There's a lot of.
What is the
reference stuff.
MWM manager?
Basically, all I know how to use the mod SDK for is putting Blender things into Space Engineers.
I'm getting really excited, guys. We really need, like, for a little while, I think we just should play around and keep making random weapons, but then afterwards, let's try to coordinate it and figure out what weapons we really want to add to the server. From, like, a concept phase to the full stack.
We'll see. I'm good at the concept part
So
and the odd part.
looks like it's having another error here. Not sure why. Let's see.
Does the Shift R reporting thing work?
What?
I think there was, Darkstar said there was a way to do, I think it was Shift R, I forget what the command was, but if you just go to the weapon and point at it,
Oh yeah, you can do Control R like that.
Control R, yeah.
That works, although I don't usually use that. I usually just look at the storage files here and look at this debug.
Just
and
the
it
overall
should
log.
have it in there, but it's not having it in there. Not sure why it doesn't have it in here. What? Press one more time and make sure that everything is solid in here too. So master is good. Master
Did
is
you
good.
say?
Good.
This one.
Good. Somewhat decent, okay.
Have you guys already gone over making new ammos in WeaponCore? Because how do you do that?
Yes, it's inside this right here. I essentially have to make an ammo def, and you just use a template for it. You attached this to the bottom, right? Yeah, I did. Okay.
The really part that we're missing for that is just the effects, colors, sounds, that type of thing.
Well, that's definitely not working. Is it seeing it at all? Come on.
How y'all doing?
Good.
Pretty good. Just getting a modding tutorial here from Rain.
Ah.
Hmm.
Never actually lets me inside its brain. Come on.
It does look like it's just not recognizing.
Come on. Ah. Yeah, that's not the right one.
Hey, Rain, you want to know what happened to half your ship last night?
Why?
My very high retarded friend cut your ship in half, and it completely fell through our whole entire base. Half the thing.
That sounds unpleasant.
Okay, so it
From
looks
what
like
I
it's
understand, you are now missing a base, part of your base.
No, he took out a whole entire landing. It was about 600 or 700 blocks. I have to.
Oh, does Darkstar already have like a base reference example?
Yeah, there's an example for MO.
It's called weapon thread.
You can download it off the workshop page, I think.
Yeah, I'm thinking that we can just generate or download the whole. Like, I want to make this as easy as possible for folks to pick up, and in the Git repo, just have like an example, full example.
a full template, actually.
Yeah, full
Terrible.
template. Yeah, that's what I meant. Template.
But that is definitely something someone will have to compile. I think that X can probably help me compile it, but that just has to be done, I guess.
Yeah, I take a stab at that because that'll at least help me learn which files are necessary.
Oh yeah.
I bet it's the barrel definition. It's always that bloody barrel definition. It's not logging it. I don't know why it's not logging it. I think it hates me. Oh, I think I know why it hates me.
Something about 10 meters.
Let's see. Yeah, I know exactly why it hates me. Okay. So, typically in here, in the folder, where is it? So you'll notice here how I have everything inside scripts. Or no, I don't. Everything is in the correct folder. Everything is in the correct folder. I hate you.
So you have a data folder, you have scripts, and then you have the definitions, and you have another scripts folder though?
It should be right. Let me check against something else.
I have to go. I appreciate your time, and I will start working.
See ya.
Thanks, Misaka.
I'm back.
Can I just see your master config again?
Oh yeah, sure.
So flat cannon.
And this
So that
is-
should be pointing to your flat cannon definition.
Yeah.
And that's
just pointing to the right whenever yours is pointing towards this, so the right aces is the right here. This is right, hopefully.
interesting. Are all your namespaces properly weapon thread?
Let me check. All namespaces are in weapon thread.
I don't know.
I really don't know.
Is there no like quick way to compile the code and see if there's any errors?
And it's not compiling, that's the problem. If that's it, it's probably the script files. These files here. I verified integrity against, let's verify integrity against the ion can, because that's something that has more default settings. So I'm just going to go ahead and slave and copy and paste in here. Okay, let's go to weapon compile. Structure. Fingers crossed. And then from here, master config namespace. Confirm to make sure that the master config is the same here. Yes it is, yes it is. Still using partial class the same. And one more thing I want to check. These are all partial classes. It's all the same partial class. good. Let's go ahead and try recompiling this. Maybe I got some changes in my script files. Exonius, you know my pain here.
He does. He's just silent because he's dead.
Oh no. Has he tried, not doing that?
So now, if there is no errors, you're not expecting anything to show up in the debugger, right? You're just...
Let's go make sure it's actually not broken anything first. So, if we go in here, still not being overridden.
So it still thinks it's a conveyor block, essentially.
Yeah, it still thinks it's a sorter.
Yeah, sort of, which is what the default definition was for the
Let's
weapon.
go ahead and try control R'ing it really quick.
Picking it up at all.
Ha. Ha. Ha.
So master config is the one that's supposed to tell it that it's not a sorter, right? And that it's a spinal weapon.
Yeah. Maybe I set up the, jeez. Thing for the, maybe I set up the Q block wrong, probably, maybe, possibly. You look back at the JDD, it's a good reference. So if you look over here, we notice, let's do this again actually, let's grab, so if you look over here, we'll notice that,
Wait, I'm so confused. I'm looking in the...
is the definition not made right? The definition should be right. Conveyor sorter, conveyor sorter.
So why is alt like taboo against selling?
What?
Excuse me?
Why is alt like taboo against selling? If I ask anybody that's in alt, they're like, nope, sorry, can't, nope, do it, not allowed. Curious if there's a reason behind lore-wise.
Nope. I think we're just busy.
Reasonable enough. Curious because I've tried to ask quite a few of your members simple ships, and they're like, can't do it, we're not allowed, we don't have permission.
I mean, they have to ask.
Guess that's too much to ask for people to ask.
So I tried changing, I just noticed that the name in here was the same as the JDD name, so I just changed this to a unique one, which hopefully should maybe make it work. If we're lucky. Definitely something that would need to be changed. Anyways. It's just so weird, because it's just not recognizing even though the Q blocks in the subtype ID area.
My favorite thing to do, debugging WeaponCore.
Yep, hey, at least you're not digging through the source code.
At least at least I'm not the person that had to make it.
No. Make a debug message signed? That's where I'm looking for right now. Oh, bloody god. Bloody blood.
Can you push this to the repo just so I can take a look as well?
Oh yeah, sure. One sec. Blah, blah, blah.
Also, I think my biggest heartburn, or not heartburn, really my biggest challenge is going to be getting used to Visual Studio. Because it's like I just want to open the Jump Disruptor mod, and I can't.
What?
I don't know what the easy way to open the files are. Like I don't even know how to do that yet.
Open them.
I mean, navigating it from the File Explorer in Visual Studio.
I just use the Windows File Explorer.
Yeah, I can do that too. I just have all files like this to automatically open with Notepad++. Which honestly, I might just use Notepad++ instead of Visual Studio.
Yo.
Notepad++. Ew.
Fine, I'll figure out how to I'll set the default open.
You'll use Visual Studio Code, or we burn you at stake.
One of the biggest benefits is dark mode.
I'm not a big fan of dark mode.
Fine, I see how it is. Do you like this then?
I couldn't
Red.
find
What is red? I'm scared.
Oh, let's
the add-on
Which add-on?
for Blender.
The MWM module manager.
where
It
is
was in the link in voice chat. Oh my god!
Oh god, my eyes.
This looks like an Asus BIOS
It
from like.
does.
Okay.
Oh my god. I'm having flashbacks.
Thank you.
Ah, it's Color of Blood, my
Cheers.
favorite.
Oh my god! I can't even read that. It's so.
I sent a link to Killer, and then Killer said it didn't work, and then he found his own link. So if you need the exact plugin for Blender, go ask Killer.
No, I got that. I followed the link. Thank you.
Okay.
Cheers. Did you push this up already, Frank?
Yes, I just did.
So let me.
Should we push the Blender mod kit to the repo, so like you can just grab everything off the repo, instead of going to like 25 different websites?
No, it's pretty centralized, and I would prefer not to do that because it has a really good tutorial on the website.
Yeah. That being said, we can add it to the wiki. We can add a wiki to our repo and link these resources.
True.
But then I don't know. I feel like we are getting a little bit too serious. Maybe I'm having it's like I can't believe how seamlessly I transitioned from work to space engineers right now. It feels like it's the same thing. Like I feel like my meetings haven't ended.
Oh no.
It's okay. We have endless meetings until the day you die.
I had about 8 meetings today, so.
Here,
But I like.
here, guys. Why don't we go ahead and call it for now? Let's take a quick. Do you guys want to take a quick 10 to 20 minute break so we can just wash up and take a break really quick, and then we can get back to it after that?
I have to break for dinner anyways, so maybe later tonight. But yeah, that sounds good. I think we went over pretty much all the basics for WeaponCore, except the kind of the bullet trail and effects design.
Yeah. So how about this? I'll try to fix this. We can meet back up at 5 o'clock, I guess, or what time works for you?
I'm not sure. It depends. I talk to my wife about what we want to do for dinner, and then figure out from there. So maybe just pencil in for late tonight again, and then otherwise we'll just have to play it by ear.
Does 10 o'clock sound good for you?
10 o'clock Eastern?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that probably works for me.
Okay, great. I will work on fixing this, and I will tell you guys what was wrong.
All
and then
right.
we can do torch.
Also, wait a second. What is this? What is going on with our repo?
What repo?
Exfonius, what did we do?
Why is there 100 billion branches?
I didn't do it.
Someone made a branch. It says Exfonius.
That wasn't me.
I'm on the right branch, right? This is mods.
Yeah?
Yes. There's a master, and then there's a temp
Hold
branch.
on, let me go check how many branches there are.
There's
But
only
it's
4.
detached.
Let's go ahead and delete temp and delete test really
Yeah, let's
quick.
delete temp.
Actually,
Detached from the master.
what is temp again?
It's all my files that were
Okay, let's
in
keep
my
temp
map.
then. And what's in test?
Wait, but it's detached, right? I'm not seeing any connection to master.
Yeah, it's completely separate.
I don't think we should do that.
Okay,
I don't know why temp
Let's
should be on
keep
the
the temp branch there just so we have all Exponus' files. But then I think other than that, it's good. We can rename temp though if you really want to, but I would not.
Yeah.
I would prefer not to do that right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I think probably what I would like to do is merge Exfonius' stuff back into master.
Okay.
Or rebase it at least, Exfonius. That way it's connected.
We don't really need temp.
Yeah, it's good to have these files though. You never know.
The thing I was confused about is I'm not sure where... Oh, you did push something. Okay, now it's coming up.
Okay, I will see you guys later tonight.
Alright, sounds great. Thanks, Rain.
Okay, bye.
Alright. Bye.
See you.
Okay. Should probably close out OBS.